All right, guys, welcome back. Whatever is appropriate for you. So let's talk about what is up this week. This is the week of the 7th of June through the 13th of June, 2021. We've got a lot of stuff going on. This week starts out a little bit deceptively easy and kind of goes over the edge at the end of the week in terms of opportunity and energy and all sorts of good stuff. So this week starts us off. Last week was a big week, right? We had a Mars-Pluto opposition. We had a Neptune-Mercury square. We've got Saturn-Uranus heating up. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Getting ready to perfect again for the second time this year. Remember, there's 3. So this is that second time. So on Monday, we have got a Taurus moon. Here's the deal. That moon conjuncts Uranus. It squares Saturn. Oh, thank you. And it sextiles Neptune. So here's the deal. Be open, right, to shifts or changes in your ideas. Basically, as long as you are in line with what's happening in your subconscious, right? So kind of get out of your head, right? And we've got all this Gemini energy, so that's a hard thing to do. But that's really, really what we're being asked to do all week this week. On Tuesday, the moon moves through a trine with Pluto, which is kind of exciting, and then enters Gemini, right? So it might be a little bit easier to dig early in the day with that Taurus moon, right? Acting kind of like an excavator. But then as the moon sextiles Mars, right, we might think, what exactly are we going to do with all this stuff we're digging up? Well, then the moon goes void, of course, and then squares Jupiter, right? So it might be a time just to kind of breathe, not to step into that over-promising energy, right? Just to kind of, once that moon goes void, of course, just take a breath, let it do its thing. And then on Wednesday, right, so the moon sextiles Chiron and trines Saturn. So really be in your self-care. And I think that's super important because the next day is that eclipse, right? So on Wednesday, really just be mindful of your self-care, of the habits that help you stay like you feel healed, okay? Do the things that you need to do on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it is the new moon in Gemini. It is the annular solar eclipse. There is an entire video on that if you would like to watch. You are more than welcome. The key here is to really stay in your feelings. Be very clear with your intentions. If you would like to know how better to shape those, give that other video a listen. I go into a little bit more detail about how you can shape that next 18-year cycle in your life for the better. But again, it's all about being in expression of your deepest internal feelings. There's a lot of, there's Neptune involvement, there is a conjunction with retrograding Mercury. So again, we're being asked to be in expression from our inside, right? From our subconscious, from our soul, in order to really create, right? We've got a 29-degree Cancer Mars that day. So you have power, a lot of power, as long as it's, as long as you're aiming the right way, that 18-year trajectory will take you exactly where you're supposed to go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff, right? On Friday, Venus kind of gets involved, right? The moon moves into, no, I'm fibbing. Mars, I'm so sorry. Mars moves into Leo. Hello. And the moon is in Cancer. Okay, the moon moves into Cancer and Mars moves into Leo. So the moon is at home right? Which sounds like it would be lovely and easy, but sometimes there's a little bit of insecurity to that Cancer moon. How do I know? Well, I have one. So there is a little bit of hesitancy to really claim those feelings, right? But as Mars moves into Leo, that insecurity will literally vanish, and you'll be all in the let me show you energy, right? And so the moon is going to conjunct Venus on this same day, right? So how lovely is that? All about beauty, love, harmony, all good things. Woo, y'all. On Saturday, on Saturday, the moon is going to do a lot of exciting things, right? Squaring Chiron and sextiling a Taurus Uranus that is really close to square with Saturn, and then move in conjunct Saturn, which is very exciting. Not really, but we'll take it that way. It is kind of exciting because it presents a good opportunity. And then Venus is going to square Chiron, and the moon will trine Neptune, which is really exciting. And then Venus is going to sextile Uranus, right? So this is the day that we really, really want to stay in line with our healing, right? All those things we were doing on Wednesday, make sure you're still doing them all through Friday and Saturday. Make sure you do them every day, but most importantly, stay open, right? Lead with your heart. With that moon in conjunct Saturn, and Venus squaring Chiron, and the moon trining Neptune, and Venus sextiling Uranus. Stay open, right? Be in that surfing kind of way, because you're not going to always know what's coming at you. And if your knees are soft and your balance is aligned, then you will have a much easier time trying to surf those waves, right? And then on Sunday, excuse me, on Sunday, the moon trines, as I said, Neptune, and we're coming into that energy. So Venus is going to make several aspects, right? Sextiling Uranus and in conjunct Saturn. So this is really going to bring up all of those feelings, all of those shifts and changes. Now, what do we do with them? What do we do with them? Well, the moon is going to enter Leo, and once the moon enters Leo, we've got then the moon and Mars are going to conjunct, right? And well, hello, I saw you, my dear. One moment, please. Wow. Harder than I thought. Anyway, once the moon, what was I saying now, please? The moon and Mars are going to be conjunct, right, in Leo. And I feel two today. So that's exciting, right? The moon and Mars conjunct, right? Let me show you how I feel, right? That's that, hey, tiger kind of energy. The key here, because the sun is going to square Neptune as well, is to really not get out of alignment in terms of yourself versus your heart. Because, again, right, the moon is going to be in conjunct Jupiter. And so that's going to give us that tendency to want to overpromise based on our feelings. But with that sun square Neptune, we're really being asked to stay anchored in our openness. Okay? All right, well, maybe not to. So stay anchored in your openness, right? You know, be like that boat that is capable and ready based on the waves and the wind to move wherever not stuck, not saying, yes, I will feel this way, I will accomplish this, if you're not quite sure you can do it. So just kind of maintaining that open stance, right? Let's get on this here. So on Monday, we've got the Ace of Swords, the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups came up in our eclipse reading as well. So the Ace of Swords is new beliefs about how you believe that love can manifest. New beliefs about your partnership potential, right? This is divinely blessed union. And as we have so much Moon and Venus and Neptune involvement, right? Remember how your ideas shape your capacity to be in union, in relationship, and be mindful, right? We know that aces have to be received with gratitude and then put into action. So however that is received, right, in your life, make sure that your beliefs aren't keeping you from something beautiful. Make sure that you're really working on those feelings and being open, right? We have that Taurus moon conjunct Uranus on this day. Let your feelings be open, right? And in alignment with the deepest levels of your heart, right? What do you want? What does your heart want? And are there beliefs that you can shift and change? Or is there a new belief that's being offered to you that's going to allow you to shift and change at that deepest level so that you can welcome love or relationship or something new, something divine in your life? On Tuesday, the moon moves into Gemini, right? Everything's in Gemini right now. So we have the Hermit and the Ten of Cups, right? How you've been stuck in your head, in your cave, in yourself, might be shifting and changing, right? We have this card of new belief. We have these two cards of powerful, emotional energy, powerful love energy, right? The Ten of Cups is that card of I am, we are, right? My life is a life filled with love and richness and abundance in terms of my emotional fulfillment and my emotional balance, right? This is a life that is blessed and lived as love. And perhaps there's been a lot of work that you've been doing behind the scenes to find that light within you, to find that way that you're going to carry that out into the darkness. Perhaps this day was the day that you realized, oh, okay, how have I been in my own way? Well, I'm going to get out of my own way now so that I can manifest these amazing things in my life. Wednesday, this is our day that we talked about healing habits, right? So we have strength and we've got the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of repose. It's a card of meditation. It's a card of, I like to break down the cards. This is the Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, heartache, loss, sadness. And then we've got that Ace of Swords represented here again. That allows you to shift and change, to heal, to reshape what was a heartbreak or a loss or sadness or despair, and shift it by knowing that there is a new way to feel it, a new way to frame it, a new way to think it that's going to create that love. Well, sometimes you have to have the strength, right, to come out of the darkness, to come out of your cave and step into what is being offered to you. The Strength card is that beautiful moment of faith, right? And we have to remember that the beast we tame is always ourself. The moon is conjunct the North Node on Wednesday, right? And so this is about how your feelings are in alignment with your future, with what you are being asked to create and call in. Okay, right? Get out of your way. What have you learned? What have you been learning in your cave of solitude, in your fortress? Now it's time to put it into action. So Thursday. This is our day of eclipse, right? So this is our day of the annular solar eclipse. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Swords. Also significant if you watch that eclipse video, right? We talk about the Seven of Swords in there. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is about self-sufficiency. This is I have enough, right? And it's self-sufficiency. It is I have accomplished. It is I am fully resourced. And we know tangible or intangible, right? We know the Five of Swords is a card of conflict. It's a card of victory. It's a card of walking away. And the thing about the Five of Swords is this conflict did not win anything, right? So let's remember that we have this 19 Gemini solar eclipse, and Gemini is that card of mental energies, right? We've got other swords here that lead us to believe that perhaps we are in our own way. And so let's just look at the imagery in this card for just a moment, right? So we've got the Ace of Swords here, right? Adding perspective to our loss, our misery. Well, here he's holding Three of Swords, and he's put down these two, right? These two are walking away. So the Two of Swords is about conflict. It's about indecision. It's about a standstill, right? It's about not being able to make an impartial decision. And so somehow this is, I'm stuck in my beliefs. I'm stuck in my ideas, right? Because I won't give up my my indecision. I won't make a choice, right? And so this is, I'm holding on to my sadness. I'm holding on. I'm creating my own heartbreak. Well, in retrospect, I've learned from it because I have this new idea about perhaps what it was that I was holding on to. So as we begin this 18-year cycle with this annular eclipse, it is definitely a time to contemplate what we have created for ourselves and how we have been in our own ways, and know that this full resourcing is available to us simply for making that Two of Swords decision, right? Yeah, so pay attention. Again, like I said, I have a little bit more information about how to best make those intentions in that other video. So, you know, we've got this Seven of Swords again. We're just full of this sword symbolism, right? And so the key here is, how are we creating our own bindings, right? So Friday we talked about the moon enters Cancer and Mars enters Leo, right? So this is that day about, let me show you my feelings. Let me show you, right? So not being overcome by our own insecurities. We've got the Seven of Swords. Again, we just talked about this symbolism of all these swords. Again, we have the Five and the Two of Swords, which is not here in this spread, but we know is about indecision. And so the Seven is how we deceive ourselves, right? This is conflict, and this is how we create conflict for ourselves, by keeping ourselves out of decision, by not making a decision, by not choosing, right? By allowing our thoughts and beliefs to be shaped, perhaps by something outside of us, perhaps by a belief about what we believe winning looks like. But as always, we come back to, when we really look at what it is that we are doing and why, the answer is always here. And if we want to really be in our own heart space and welcome that beautiful divine blessing of love in our lives, we have to be strong enough to get over ourselves and our beliefs. And, you know, it's no accident that we're looking at the Two of Wands here, which is about making choices from your passion, from your heart, from your soul. And as we come into this really strong, powerful Venus, Moon, Neptune energy at the end of this week, Again, this is about being committed to your openness, committed to your concept of beauty and harmony and what home looks like for you. And what home looks like, by the way, is always what home feels like. It's never about what home looks like. It's always about how it feels, right? And how you choose from your soul. Saturday we have the Four of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So the Four of Cups is kind of a card of taking a break, right? It's like I feel a little bit overwhelmed, and I'm just going to take one step back, right? So again, we're talking about committing to your openness. This is the Seven of Wands is about defending after a victory. So we might be feeling a little overwhelmed, a little overwrought, a little spent, right? This is a big week, right? And this is that day that we talked about the moon being in conjunct Saturn and Venus being square Chiron and the moon trining Neptune and Venus sextiling Uranus, right? So there's a lot of shifts. Soft knees, guys. Soft knees, right? There's no need to be in battle. Just let the boat rock if you have to. Let the boat rock. You are under no obligation to row fast. You just have to stay open and trust that the wind is going to take you where you're supposed to be. And guess what? The wind is always going to take you where you're supposed to be. The end of this week, we have the King of Swords and the Emperor. Of course we do. Venus is in conjunct Saturn. The moon is conjunct Pluto, right? So we have very intuitive feeling energy butting up against, right? Playing tug of war with very strong structural energy of ideas, energy of rigidity, right? This is about what do you do versus how you feel, right? So this is that, hey, tiger, hey, little lady kind of energy. But the key is even the sun squaring Neptune, right, is going to remind you, don't get out of alignment, right? We have this King of Swords, right? And we've had all of these warnings all week about your ideas and how they can get in your way, right? So don't let your ideas get in your way at the end of this week. Not with this kind of magical message coming right in behind it. Love wins, right? You let these cups win. You let these swords win. You have a choice. You have a big choice. And here's the deal. The choice you make is going to define the next 18 years of your life. So you might want to really sit down with yourself in the mirror and feel into your soul and see what is what. You might. It might be a good idea. Let's talk about this crocodile for just a half a second. I really thought he needed a friend, but apparently he didn't need a friend. So let's read about him. So this is about resting, submerging, collecting energy, and cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Look, I love it when this happens. It almost makes me weep every time. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around, hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering up our awareness, and observing the building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. When in balance, the crocodile represents wisdom, patience, and the idea of being a silent powerhouse. This word powerhouse has come up so much for me in the last couple of weeks. When out of balance, the crocodile feels stuck and lashes out, right? Look at all of these swords, which are all about lashing out. To bring in balance, the crocodile needs rest. Listen, listen, listen here, y'all. Alignment, right? I don't even feel like I need to. Here, we're going to do this. We're going to do this, okay? We're going to do it this way. We're going to say, what is being shown to you here? What is your dichotomy, right? You have all of these thoughts, all of this harumphing and nonsense and being stuck in your own ideas, or we have this beautiful opportunity that is being given to you, right? You get to make choice this week. You get to make a very big choice. That Two of Swords is not represented here, but it is implied. So, I say to you, good luck making your choices. Again, if you would like to listen to that, the video about the eclipse, I would recommend it in terms of guidance for making your intentions. Like I said, 18 years is a long time. And I think the dichotomy here is super clear about which side you get to choose, right? But you're going to have to put your feet down on one side. So that's up to you. Good luck. Big blessings. We will definitely have a conversation, at least one conversation in the middle of the week this week. Other than that, big blessings, and please be aware of what's going on, right? Walk with your eyes open, but keep your knees soft. Lead with your open heart. Big blessings.